Hello, my name's Jon Parker and I'm from Flyby Technology, and up until now we've had a fantastic reputation as one of the best drone pilot training organisations in the UK, and I just want to talk to you a little bit really in this lovely Yorkshire setting, talking about how things are changing for Flyby and the sort of exciting projects that we've got going on at the moment. As you know, for a while we've all been locked down and we've all been stuck indoors, so I thought I'd do this video outside, and actually I like it. I might do more of these from outside for you. Well, until recently we were a national qualified entity of the CAA, which meant that we could do the proper training to give everybody their permission for commercial operation. Now we've changed to a recognised assessment entity, which means that we can start training for the A2 CFC, the Certificate of Competency, but also for the General VLOS certificate, and at the moment still issue recommendations to the CAA for the permission for commercial operation. And that's where we are at the moment, just making everything right so that that transition works seamlessly for you guys. At the same time, the industry's been changing. We've been staying still, if you like, as an industry, but actually the industry has changed, and what I want to talk about really is how that change is going to affect you. If you're looking for new training, then you really ought to be looking for new opportunities as well within that training. Until very recently, the future of the drone industry was videography, cinematography, photography, those sorts of things, and that really is now yesterday's news. Of course, there'll always be a need for that, there'll always be a business to be made from it, but that market will start to flood out, I think, and get saturated as more people come into the industry at a lower level and buy the A2 CFC training. There's nothing wrong with that, and you know, there is a market for it, but the future of the drone industry is moving at a pace. Today's news really is surveying and inspection work, and that requires some investment really in the drones that you're using. But really, you shouldn't be training for yesterday and you shouldn't be training for today. You ought to be training for tomorrow. And what is tomorrow? What does tomorrow look like? And more importantly, what does success as a drone pilot look like tomorrow? And that's what we've been doing recently. I have to excuse this beard. This is a lockdown beard, as I promised to my children to let them see what I look like after I've grown it. It will be going, don't worry, before we get training again. But what does tomorrow look like in terms of drone training for you? I believe that the future of drone flying is in work-class drones. It's drones that do things, drones that build things, drones that carry things. Drones that save people money, that do jobs that nobody really wants to do. It's not videography, it's not inspection, although there will be a market for that, of course there will. But as drones become more sophisticated and more powerful and more utilitarian, we're going to be able to capitalise on that. What are the technologies that are going to enable that? Well, heavier lift aircraft, probably up to about 300 kilos. We're working on drones at the moment as part of the British Drone Consortium that are up to 300 kilos. One of our test beds at the moment is weighing in at 150 kilograms, and we're working at the moment with the NHS on some nice projects to help with the track and trace. That has driven a requirement to have some new technologies. One of those technologies is detect and avoid, and to be able to fly outside of visual line of sight, and in fact beyond extended visual line of sight, there are some requirements placed upon us by CAP 722 and other CAPs in fact that will define how drones are flown in the future. But really, drones are going to be flying in using more automatics, using more autonomous modes, but really there's a step to go through before we get there. Drones are remotely piloted air systems. That means they're still piloted, but remotely. They're not autonomous, they won't be working on their own most of the time. Of course, there will be tasks that will need that, but the majority of the aircraft will be flown by somebody somewhere. And what we've been doing recently is working with other partners in the British Drone Consortium to work that problem through, and we've come up with some amazing technologies, but those technologies mean that there are a different set of pilot skills that you guys are going to need. And so now we're looking at how we train those skills into you and to the future, to future-proof your business, so that you don't have to do videography, you don't have to be an inspector. It's always harder to teach a pilot to be an inspector than it is to teach an inspector to be a pilot. But the future requires some piloting skills that are hard to acquire and even harder to maintain, and so training is going to be the key to that. So our new training system that we've just developed, and there's going to be a new website as well, will take you through in very slow steps that career progression. Even from an A2 CFC, you can then go through the steps, adding little bits on as you go, flying different courses, and we are building drones at the moment that are going to be able to enable you to fly those courses to give you beyond visual line of sight skills that will future-proof your business. Those skills are really monitoring skills, and we have always taught this. We've always taught these skills as part of the Flyby Technology course, and none of our competitors have. Very few of them understand them. But the real benefit of training with us at the moment is that you'll get access to all of those advanced courses and continuous professional development, all of which will be building blocks to future-proof your business. So that was a very quick video, really, just to get me out of the house, get some air into this beard, but also to let you know what we've been up to and how we've been doing it. And as time goes by, we'll release more and more videos to take you on that journey. Our website will be revamped. It's looking amazing at the moment, the new website, and that'll be going live in the next few days, so I'll be talking to you again in just a little while. Thank you very much for listening, and see you again soon.